Hello everyone, this is Fine from Tech Gaming Villa. I hope you all are well. You see the two TV Sony A80K and A80J. A80K lies in the middle of the company's OLED TV line for 2022 and is priced notably lower than the A95K QD OLED models. First at the top. Even so, the performance delivered by the 65-inch 80K set I tested proved it to be a great all-round offering for the price, and one that provides some competition to LG similarly priced C2 OLED TVs. While the LG C2 models rely on that company's web operating system platform for streaming and other smart TV tasks, the 80K features the tried and true Google TV platform with a useful Google Assistant feature that lets you speak commands directly into the remote controls, hidden mic. If you see the 80K picture quality, it's very nice and it's better than 80J, but very slightly. The difference is minimal, I will say. Along with its full coverage, I measured it at 99.5% of DCI-P3 color space when displaying 4K HDR. The 80K is capable of good brightness for an OLED TV. I measured 785 nits on a 10% window pattern in vivid picture mode and a still impressive 616 nits in cinema mode. While that falls far short of the same size mini LED QLED models like the Samsung QN95B, which can reach over 2500 nits of peak brightness, and also LG's 2022 flagship G2 OLED, a model that can hit 1000 nits in vivid mode. It should be plenty bright for all but the most well-lit rooms. How bright is the 80K for real-world viewing? When streaming the Netflix doc or My Octopus feature, a 2021 Oscar winner for Best Documentary, with my room's overhead lights on, the Sony's picture still looked plenty bright and punchy. And there was no apparent reduction of color saturation. And while the 80K lacks the anti-glare screen coating found on specialty TVs like Samsung's The Frame, on-screen glare was minimal and generally not a problem. As expected from an OLED TV, picture uniformity was excellent even at well-off center viewing positions. While many higher-end TVs provide a filmmaker picture mode intended to give you movie-friendly picture settings that you don't have to fuss with, the 80K lacks that amenity. There is the Netflix adaptive calibrated mode that automatically adjusts picture brightness based on ambient room lighting, but it only applies to programs streamed from that service. The good news here is that the set cinema picture mode was accurate straight out of the box, as confirmed by this measurement. The bad news is that the set's motion flow processing is turned on by default in cinema mode, so movie pursuers will need to visit the picture settings menu to modify it. While motion handling with the 80K, which has a 120 Hz refresh rate, is very good overall, there were instances where I encountered motion related artifacts when watching a clip early on the James Bond reboot, No Time to Die, where Bond walks across a hill outside of an Italian village to visit a grave site. For example, I noted flattering effects in the landscape as the camera panned over it. Watching with motion flow in, its default auto setting eliminated this, but also added a video like soap opera effect. Setting motion flow to its lowest level corrected for that. However, and also reduced the artifacts I was seeing in No Time to Die. Same as with other Sony TVs. I've seen the 80K did an excellent job of converting standard definition HD programs to 4K. This was confirmed when I watched a regular Blu-ray version of No Time to Die, which looked 4K HDR like in terms of detail, color, and contrast. This could very well be due to Sony's cognitive processor XR feature, which received tweaks for 2022 specifically aimed at enhancing color vibrancy and image depth. The bright HDR highlights like the floating, glowing orbs in Dune or sun coming through the windows of Bruce Wayne's manor in the Batman had a powerful effect and contributed to an overall 3D-like quality in some scenes. One related measurement note, Sony's OLED measured 0 nits on a full black window pattern, meaning that it's capable of infinity contrast. This accounts for the set's exceptionally deep rendition of blacks along with its powerful picture contrast, especially when viewing in dim lighting conditions. On the other hand, if you see the A80J, which is Sony's 2021 model, the A80J is equipped with the cognitive processor XR. Sony claims that this chip understands how humans see and hear and is designed to replicate the way our brains think and respond by simultaneously cross-analyzing the many different elements of the video and soundscape to figure out how to process them in real time to the highest level of quality, providing a whole new experience that immerses you completely in the scene. The visual aspects of this technology present themselves as XR OLED contrast, which adjusts brightness on the fly to boost lights and deepen blacks without losing detail. XR color for extending hue saturation and shading, so every color has the subtle differences seen in the real world. XR clarity for improving 4K upscaling and XR motion for intelligent blur-free motion processing. Whether you get your content through streaming or via the ATSC 3.0 tuner, which enables 4K broadcast and 3D audio support and combines broadcast and ISP and over-the-air content, the A80J's picture impresses across all viewing scenarios. The tested results on this TV using two pattern generators, an Acupel DVG 5000 for HDR and a Spectracal Video Force Pro for HDR, an X-Rite i1 Pro spectrophotometer and portrait displays Kalman calibration software. The typical modus operandi is to disable all dynamic display adjustment features, so we are evaluating all TVs on as level a playing field as possible, but it quickly became clear this approach would have some limitations with the A80J. Its picture quality is dependent on a lot of the settings turned off. The brightness was a dazzling 713.7 nits, though even the 237.3 nits was better than the first time around. There are a few key takeaways here. First and most important, the A80J is a first-rate performer on a technical level in this price range and has the capacity to please even the most demanding viewers, but its picture modes and individual settings carry more weight than on many sets. So if you are not passionate about this nonsense, you may better off leaving well enough alone. Finally, for most content, the curiously named custom mode provides the closest thing to a tightly calibrated picture out of the box. There's a lot of potential confusion here for the everyday TV buyer, which is too bad, but the more adventurous will discover it doesn't take much tweaking to reach a perfect picture. If you see the A80J, the signal lag tester, an older HD version and a new one optimized for 4K to measure the delay between a video signal passing from the input and displaying on the screen. In the A80J's game mode, the results were 16.5 millisecond and 15.8 millisecond respectively, both on the high side for a TV such as the, but it's well below our 20 millisecond threshold for solid gaming performance. The A80J's 120 Hz maximum refresh rate is ideal for gaming on newer consoles like the Xbox Series X or the PlayStation 5. As previously mentioned, though, to take advantage of these features, you will need to connect your console to either HDMI port 3 or 4, which are the only two that support HDMI 2.1. Otherwise, you are stuck at 60 Hz. So if you see this 2 TV, 80K is a better TV, I will say, but I will prefer to buy A80J because on 2023, A80J is very cheap. So I will prefer A80J over 80K because the picture difference is very minimal, but 80J you will get very cheap price. So that's it from now. If you like this video, please subscribe and press the bell icon for future notifications update. Thanks for watching.
To change your